Hey folks, and welcome to Solarcabin channel. It's early fall here at the cabin, and I just wanted to do a quick video of a couple of products that I got this year for my off-grid cabin that I think would be really useful for people that are living off-grid like I am, or if you're a camper, or if you're looking for some emergency equipment for maybe a blackout at your grid homes, or for your bug-out bags, something like that. So I come across a couple of really good products that I think will work really well for those situations. One of them is some solar lights, and these are LED lights. And I can tell you, you people have it really easy, because when I went off grid 20 years ago, there were no LED lights. We had to go and get halogen lights like they use in cars, the old style halogen lights, and we would convert those and use those. And I still have a couple of them wired in my loft upstairs. And they get really hot, and they also use a lot of power. So they would drain your batteries down at night if you use them for more than just a few minutes for, so you could find your way around your cabins. Nowadays, you have LED lights, which use very, very small amount of power, and they can work off very small solar electric systems. And a lot of them nowadays, like the ones I'm going to show you here, have their own solar panels. So you don't even have to hook them in to a big system. Like my system's only 400 watts, and I have a few LED lights hooked into it. But these come with their own panels, which I really like, and they're portable, which is another thing that I really like. So the one that I'm going to show you, which I've been using now for a couple of days, and I think is a really good product, is made by Flyhoom. Show that to you. Hopefully I can get in the camera. There we go. It's made by Flyhoom. It comes with 2 LED lights, and 2 solar panels, and 2 remotes, one for each of the lights. Now, I really like this. I wasn't really sure about the using the remotes, because my other lights either have a pull string or they have a switch on them. But I actually find these remotes are really neat, because I'll show you what they are. The lights, this is the light, and it has a diffuser. This is a diffuser on the bottom, and that spreads the light out, so it makes the light a lot brighter. So you can have less LEDs, use less power, but get the same light effect as you would get from a larger bulb. And this puts out about as much light, I think, as probably a 40-watt light bulb on high. And this one comes with 3 different light settings. It has a high, medium, or low. And I found that the medium setting is plenty for my 14 by 14 cabin. That lights up my cabin fine for finding it around. High is a really nice setting, but that's going to use up more power. And low, if you just, you need it for just a spotlight in a small area, is a great place. And it can be charged with either USB, and I'll turn this on here. It can be charged with either USB or the solar panel, which I'm going to show you here. And these comes with 2 remotes. This is the remote. And it comes with 2 of these remotes, and one for each of one works for one light and one works for the other light, just so you know. And it has a setting on it so you can turn it on or off, so I'll turn it on. See, flipped it on with the remote. And then you can set the mode, so you can set it, this is on medium, and there's on bright. You can see how bright it is on bright, and there's on low, okay? And so it's got the 3 settings that you can set it on with the remote, and you can also set it with the remote. It has a setting for a 15-minute timer, a 30-minute timer, a 1-hour timer, or a 4-hour timer. Now this is neat, and what I'm going to do with this remote, since I don't have light switches in my house, and I have to, if I come home and it's really dark, I have to stumble around to find my lights to turn one on. I'm going to put this, just like a house switch, I'm going to get some Velcro. You can get those little Velcro pads, and I'm going to put this right next to the door in my cabin, and that way when I can come in, I can just hit the switch and I can turn this on or I can turn it off, just like a regular switch in a regular house. So that's a convenient little feature. I like these little remotes. They're pretty neat. And these lights put off enough light that just one of these centered in my cabin gives me plenty of light. And these can be charged either from USB. They've got a USB slot, so and I have USB plugs in my cabin, and most of us have a USB plug on our computers that you can recharge these from. They'll recharge in about 3 or 4 hours and will last for a very long time. I haven't tested them to see exactly how long they'll last on the different settings, but in general these will last for usually about 8 hours of use on low, so that's a pretty good amount of time. because you're usually only using a light. Off-gridders are usually only using a light maybe a few hours at night. We don't use them like you do in your grid houses anyway. Also good for camping because it's got a hook on it, so you can hang it inside your tents, or you can put it inside your campers or something like that. And it comes with, each one comes with its own solar panel, so it comes with 2 of these. And I'm very impressed with the manufacturing on this solar panel. It has a completely plastic outside, so it should last in the weather. It has good solar panels in the front here, and it comes with a long cord. I think this cord's about 8 feet of cord. It comes with 2 of these, so you can plug each light in separately, and you can use them separately. What I'm going to be doing is I will use one light in my cabin, centered in my cabin, with the remote next to my door so I can use it. And I will probably charge mine mostly off USB, but I'm going to put the solar panel up out front of my house and run the cord into it just so it stays powered up all the time. And during the daytime it'll power up, and then at night when I need to use it I'll have light. So that's a really good, neat thing. And you get 2 of them, and they're made by Flyhoom, and they seem to be very good quality. I like the solar panels, the lights seem to be very good quality, and I really like the remotes. So that's one of the products that I would recommend for off-gridders, camping, for a bug-out situation, or for grid home users where if your power blacks out and you don't have any lights, this would be a really good thing to have. So you have lights in your room, and you can put one in every room or just in a central location so that you have lights if the power goes out. The other product that I got this year that I really like is a radio. And you know, I've used stereos and radios, and I listen to the radio on the internet and that, but I wanted a radio that has weather band and picks up my stations well here, because I'm kind of out in the boonies, you know, and so my stations are kind of far away. Wanted to make sure they would pick up my local stations, my local weather, and so that it was lightweight, so I could take it with me when I go out working outside, or take it with me camping, or I can take it with me when I go out in my truck, because a lot of times I go on adventures. I can take it out there with me. And so if I'm going out and it's light enough that I can put it in a backpack, or I could take it in my shepherd wagon. And so this is the radio that I got this year, and this has its own solar panel. And as you can see, it has lights on the back of it, and it has another light over here for an emergency strobe light. It has an emergency strobe light on the front here, and I've got to remember how to turn it on. But it has an emergency flashlight on the front right there, and it has lights on the back for like reading, something like that. Solar panel on the front. It also has a hand crank charger, and I can tell you now, hand crank chargers on these things are generally fairly worthless, because you'd have to crank and crank and crank for hours and hours in order to get enough power to run them for even an hour. However, it's still a good feature to have on these. However, I charge mine up on USB, and I really like this one because I can charge it up on my USB plug and run the radio at the same time. That's something that I haven't been able to do on another model that I bought. This one I can charge up and run at the same time, and it charges and lasts, because these new lithium-ion batteries are great. This thing will run about 8 to 10 hours off a single charge. And so I can take it out with me and work outside and set this down and listen to the tunes while I'm working on a project. Take it in my shepherd wagon with me when I go camping, or I use it here just in the cabin all the time. I turn the radio on and just listen to the tunes while I'm working online or working on a project in the cabin. And this one is made by FOSPower. FOSPower. I got it off Amazon, and I will put the links to these products in the information, so you can go and look at them. Prices change quite a bit. You know, they may go up, they may go down a little bit, so I won't tell you how much these cost. You can go look at the information, decide if they will work for you. There are other brands of these products too. I'm not trying to push a specific brand. I'm just telling you these are good. These are ones that I've tried, and they seem to work really well. It has a good long antenna on it for good reception, and I get good reception here, and even though I'm quite a ways away from the booster stations for radio, it does have the solar panel. It has the lights, a couple of different lights on it, and the crank handle, so you can crank it up with that. And it gets good reception, and the volume. One thing that I like is the stations come in clear, and its volume is good, and it has good bass. Something that you don't usually get in these small radios. This has good bass, so you get a good sound if you're listening to radio. It's not a high level radio like some stereos have, but it's enough that you can enjoy the tunes, you can listen to the weather, and you can stay updated. And this would be really good, especially if you're off-grid like I am, or you are camping, or you need it for a bug-out bag, or for your grid homes for emergencies. Again, if you have a blackout at your home, you need to know what's going on with the weather. One of these little radios like this would come in really handy. It has the lights, has the emergency features, solar panels, and you can recharge it, and it has a long life battery. Okay, so that's two of the products that I got this year that I think off-gridders, campers, and people that want an emergency system or using it for a bug-out system would use. And I'm just going to walk you outside and give you just a real quick update on my Shepherd wagon. I have done a little work on it, but it's getting close to winter, so I probably won't get it all finished up this winter. I'm going to work on it this winter. But I've done a little bit of trim work, and I put the roofing on, so I'm going to give you just a little update on that, materials that I use for that, in case you were working on a Shepherd wagon. So let's go outside and I'll show you what I've done on the Shepherd wagon. Okay, so this is my Campin wagon, or a Shepherd wagon, or some people call them a Vardo. And as you can see, I've been doing quite a bit of work. If you've been following along, I designed this. I designed the plans for it, and the plans for this are free on my website under the micro cabins link at the top. And so you can go get the free plans if you want to build one like this. And I designed these for the 7 by 8 foot trailers like you can get at Lowe's that have the sidewalls. You can see this has the sidewalls that goes up. And then it goes up approximately 3 feet, and then it goes up to over 6 foot, about 6 foot 4 inches to the peak up there. So lots of room inside. 8 foot, approximately 8 foot long, and approximately 7 feet wide. And it's designed in the old Shepherd wagon style, Vardos. And so really nice. And I got this door recycled from an old wood door that I got for free. That I cut the bottom off and put the top up there for the arch. And then I've used cedar fence boards, 3-inch cedar fence boards for my trim, which looks really nice. Now, I haven't done the trim on all of it yet, because I still got my lumber sitting over there, and I haven't got all of it done yet. But then the other thing that I want to show you here is that I used aluminum roofing for mine. And this comes in a roll, and it's 2 feet wide, and I think I got a 50-foot roll, and it cost me about $45, I think, and one roll was enough to do the entire roof. Now, I haven't done my trim. You can see it needs trim along there. I haven't done my cedar trim along there, and I'm going to do some cedar trim, fancy it all up and everything like that. But this is going to be my off-grid abode, camper, for when I go up, because I like to go up in the lakes and stuff. Let the camera adjust here. And I haven't done a lot to the inside. I've got my wood stove, which I got, some of you have seen, and I did a video on this wood stove here. And I've got a 100-watt solar panel in there, and I've got a 12-volt fridge in there. But I haven't got them situated because I need to build cabinets on both sides. That's my project for this winter. And I'm build cabinets on both sides. And right now I've just got a couple of old camper mattresses in there. That's not a bed, but it can be used as a bed. But I just got them set in there for now. I got the window installed, which is a shed window. Let this adjust. I got a shed window off of eBay for this, and I'll show you the other side of it, and then you can see how this is all framed. Now I'm going to be doing foam insulation in this, and I'm probably going to insulate the entire interior and then put paneling on it, but that's going to come down the road as I get enough money to do this project. So I'll just show you on the outside what I did here. This is the window, shed window, and I really like it because it has the muntins in it, the old-fashioned muntins. And then I got a couple of cheap, what the hell are those called? Shutters. I got a couple of cheap shutters to go on both sides, just to give it a nice look. And then I'm going to do that same cedar trim all the way around. Both ends will be all done in cedar. And it gives it a really, you can see, it gives it a really nice look. And it's a nice little Vardo Shepherd wagon, just the right size to pull behind my small pickup, because I don't like driving the big pickup because it's a gas hog. So I can pull this one because it's lightweight and small. The way I've designed it, you can pull this just behind a really small pickup like mine or an SUV, and go take it up camping. So that's what I've been doing on this project here, and just wanted to give you an update. And like I said, you can go get the free plans on my website, simplesolarhomesteading.com. Up at the top you'll see micro cabins. There's 2 different plans in here. There's a plan for an 8 by 8 style cabin, and also this Shepherd wagon, camping wagon. They're both in the same plans if you're looking for this. So just go up there at the top and you will see micro cabin plans. Click on that. Those plans are completely free, folks. I designed them so that anyone can get these plans and you can build one of these. While you're there, also look, because I've got some new plans on there for the Walden cabin and some other plans on there for micro cabins and inexpensive cabins that any off-gridder can build themselves, even if you don't have a lot of skills. So go on there, take a look at my website, simplesolarhomesteading.com. Check out the new features, and also while you're there, go check out the entrance that we have, the submissions that we have for the contest, for the off-grid houses on wheels contest. We've got a couple entries in there now. I hope to get a whole bunch more before the end of this month, because you've got to get your designs in before the end of this month, okay? And make sure that you get your designs in, and go check out the submissions that have already been submitted. You could win a 100-watt solar panel, books by Lloyd Kahn, ebooks from me, and some other prizes. So go in there and make sure that you submit your designs before the end of this month. This is October, this is October, and so make sure you get your designs in before then. All right, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it, and as always, you know, we live off-grid so that we can thrive in good times and survive the bad times. All right, folks, have a great day.